I still remember the exact moment my heart cracked in two. Emily stood in my kitchen, arms crossed, voice sharp as winter wind slicing through the screen door. "You're not invited, Margaret," she said. "The wedding is intimate. Family only. My son, Daniel, the boy I carried for 9 months, the child I rocked through fevers and nightmares, just looked down at his phone and said nothing. Nothing." That silence hurt worse than her words. I let the quiet settle after that sentence, the way an old woman lets tea steep. Slow, deliberate, tasting every bitter leaf. I was folding laundry that afternoon, the same way I've folded laundry for 43 years. Daniel's tiny baseball shirts became his work shirts, became the monogrammed towels Emily demanded for their new house. The dryer hummed like it always does. Warm cotton in my hands, the faint scent of lavender softener drifting up. Outside, snow tapped the window pane. Soft, polite, like it was apologizing for what was happening inside. I raised that boy alone after his father left. Nights I worked double shifts at the hospital, coming home with feet so swollen I had to soak them in Epsom salt before I could sleep. Every dollar I didn't spend on myself went into his college fund. When he wanted to propose to Emily, I sold Grandma Ruth's diamond earrings, the one she wore the day she married Grandpa in 1943, so he could buy the ring Emily pointed at in the case. He promised, "Mom, tomorrow I'll pay you back." Tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. I still cooked for them every Sunday. Roast chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, the green beans Emily liked with slivered almonds. I'd set the table with the good china, the one with the tiny roses, because family deserves beauty. Daniel would kiss my cheek, say, "Thanks, Mom, smells amazing," and Emily would smile, that thin smile that never reached her eyes. After dinner she'd whisper loud enough for me to hear, "We really can't keep eating like this, babe. Carbs." I'd wash the dishes alone while they scrolled on their phones in the living room. When I got sick 2 winters ago, pneumonia that put me in the hospital for 9 days, Daniel texted, "Hope you feel better." Emily posted beach pictures from Aruba. I came home to an empty fridge and a stack of bills. The nurse told me, "Margaret, you need help." I laughed until I cried. Help. I was the help. The wedding invitation never came. I found out from my neighbor Gladys, who saw it on Facebook. Intimate ceremony. 50 guests. My only child was getting married and I wasn't family anymore. I sat at my kitchen table that night, the one my father built in 1962, tracing the knots in the wood with a trembling finger. The house was too quiet. The grandfather clock ticked like it was counting down to something. I thought about every Christmas I strung lights alone so Daniel would wake up to magic. Every baseball game I sat through in the rain. Every time I said, "It's fine, honey, you go have fun with your friends," when what I wanted was one evening with my son. Something inside me shifted. Quiet, final, like a door closing in a house you know you'll never enter again. The next morning I called my lawyer. I was on the deed of their house. My house, the one I signed over to them so they could get a better mortgage rate. I was still on the joint account I'd been adding to every month for their future. I removed my name from everything. Quietly. Legally. No yelling. No scene. Just papers signed in blue ink and a notary's stamp. I changed the locks on my own front door, the little blue house I'd lived in since 1981. I packed away the photo albums in the attic. Daniel's baby pictures, his first haircut curl, the hospital bracelet from the day he was born. I kept one photo. Me holding him the day he came home from the hospital, both of us crying, both of us knew. 3 weeks later the phone rang. Daniel's voice cracked like ice on a puddle. "Mom." The bank called. They said the house title changed. "What did you do?" Emily screaming in the background. "She can't do this. That's our house." I let them talk until the words ran out. Then I said, calm as Sunday morning, "You told me I wasn't family. You made your choice. Now I've made mine." He came to the door 2 days later, eyes red. Emily behind him clutching her designer purse like armor. "Mom, please. We're sorry. We didn't mean it. You know how weddings are, stressful." I looked at my son, really looked at him, and saw a man I didn't raise. I said, I'm done begging for a seat at a table I set myself. Close the door. Turn the lock. The click sounded like freedom. Now the house is quieter, but it's my quiet. I drink coffee on the porch in the mornings and watch the sunrise paint the sky the color of peach preserves. I planted roses along the walkway, deep red ones that smell like my mother's perfume. I joined a book club. I go to the senior center on Thursdays and dance to songs I loved in 1978. Sometimes I laugh so hard my sides ache, and no one tells me to keep it down. The china with the tiny roses sits in the cabinet, waiting for people who know what family means. I wear Grandma Ruth's earrings again. They catch the light when I turn my head, reminding me that some things are meant to stay with the women who earned them. I still miss my boy sometimes. The ache is there, dull and familiar like arthritis in the winter. But I no longer confuse missing him with owing him. Love is not a debt you pay forever. Love is a gift, and gifts can be taken back when they're thrown on the floor. So if you're listening and your heart is heavy because someone you poured your life into has turned cold, hear me. You are allowed to close the door. You are allowed to keep the key. You are allowed to save the best pieces of yourself for you. Table is yours now. Set it beautifully, and sit down. You've earned the chair at the head.